and welcome to Story Time with Writers Playground. My name is Mariana Davila.
And I am Eric Humbert.
And we are your hosts. And we have a really lovely story for you today. But before we get into that, it is our 10th episode already, Merrick. How about that?
How about that? It's been fun, right?
A lot of fun. I have been loving going back through some of the past winning stories, some of which we haven't read in a long time. There are some really beautiful pieces, and it is fun to read them again and to share them and discuss them.
Definitely.
So what else has been going on?
Well, since our last episode, we have open registration for our next competition, the 12th Playground Challenge, which will take place from January 8th to January 18th. And if we have any new listeners who are not familiar with how that works, you can head on over to our website, writersplaygroundllc.com, and get all the specifics there. But basically, you sign up, and then we will send you an email when the competition begins on Thursday, January 8th at 8 p.m. And this is all on New York Eastern Standard Time. And in that email, we will give you 5 characters to choose from. You must select one. 5 settings. You must select one. And then there will be one quote-unquote thing, which could be anything, and that thing must be included in everyone's story.
Yep. Then you will have 10 days to write your story, and all submissions are due by 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday, January the 18th.
That's right. And like I said, you can get all the specific details on our website, so go check that out, and make sure to register, because it's going to be another fun round. What else has been going on with you?
I read a couple of books that I really loved. I've been trying to read more books by Latin American women, and recently I have read 2 that really stood out. The first one is Malacria by Mexican author Elisa Diaz-Castelo, which could be translated somewhat as like spoiled daughter. It is a story about 3 generations of women, motherhood, and intergenerational trauma. I found it very moving and beautifully written. It is the first novel by Elisa, who had previously published poetry collections. And you can really tell that she's a poet. The language all throughout her novel, it's very lyrical and poignant. Hopefully they will make an English translation available in the near future. I definitely recommend everyone to read this one.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, it really is. And the second book I read was Mandíbula, translated as Jawbone, by Ecuadorian writer Mónica Ojeda. And this one is available in English. And just like Malacria, Monica's writing style is very strong. However, that's as far as the comparison goes. Jawbone is a crazy ride. I guess it can be considered horror, but it is really a deeply disturbing coming-of-age tale that highlights the hardships of womanhood and the perils of toxic friendships. I couldn't put the book down, and I recommend it as well, although I must say that I think that the ending felt a bit rushed and was a bit of a letdown.
It's always a bummer when that happens, but it sounds interesting as well.
Yeah, they are both great. You should read Jawbone and keep doing your Spanish Duolingo. What about you?
I haven't been up to much. As you know, our son keeps us very busy. There are a couple of writing projects that I have in the works, one of which is a novel that I've been working on. I started years ago. It's something that I've worked hard on. I've also put it down for months, even a year, then came back to it, and so on and so forth. I remember when I finished my very first draft, I don't even want to say how long ago that was. It was maybe a quarter of the length that it is now. And I was so excited. I was ready to submit to agents and go to the publishers right then and there. I think that's a common feeling for young writers, or maybe just young people in general. A bit of a naivety of just wanting everything to happen so fast and sort of expecting it to. Then I got some feedback that I wasn't exactly thrilled to hear. I had these big hopes and dreams, at the time. I wanted to be published. I was really eager. I thought what I had written was great. I thought it was ready. So the idea of putting that off was aggravating for sure. But looking back on it, it was the right decision. You don't know what you don't know. And I don't think I would be happy now if I put one of those early drafts out in the world. And at this point, I feel like I've lost that sense of eagerness. I'm no longer in any sort of rush to get it out there. I'm more interested in making it the best it can be. But sometimes I feel like that means I might never get it published if I'm too particular about it. But we'll see. I actually just got a new wave of inspiration that is going to come with throwing a big chunk of it in the trash and then taking it in a bit of a different direction. But it's all a process, and I'm enjoying it, and some of the other smaller projects I'm working on as well.
Yeah, that's what matters. I think it's the journey or the process, to be a little cliche, that is more important than the destination. You just gotta keep moving forward.
Yeah, for sure. Take it bit by bit. But that's enough about me. What are we getting into today, Mariana?
Today, Merrick will be reading a fantastic piece by Ashley Evans called Time Like Water, which won fifth place in our sixth playground challenge. Ashley Evans lives in Bethlehem, New Hampshire, with her husband and one very spoiled dog. She enjoys working from home as a graphic designer by day and dabbling in making art and writing by night. Ashley is a talented writer and she's a frequent participant in our challenges. She also has a story that placed 10th in our last challenge, and she has a second place finish as well in our ninth playground challenge.
Yeah, those are all great pieces, which you can read on our website.
And we will encourage you to check out Ashley's website at aevanswrites.carrd.co. And that will be in the description wherever you are listening to this. And the tagline for the story today, Time Like Water, is: an ancient, shape-changing being haunts a pool of water, feeding on passers-by. Can it change its nature for a man who refuses to fear it? Enjoy!
Time Like Water by Ashley Evans. There's an ancient place humans fear, a forest where a spring-fed waterfall empties into a deep pool. I am part of the place, and the place is part of me. It gave me life, and I'll live forever as long as the water flows. The humans call this land Britannia now, but I was here long before the Romans built their roads and walls, before the Celts whose healthy fear kept them away and alive. Some days I may choose to be a sleek, almost human woman, sitting naked on a rock, combing my long hair. Sometimes I am a beautiful young man, letting the sun catch the droplets as they travel the planes and angles of my unspoiled body. Other, darker days, I am an equine creature, all untamed, rippling muscle and unharnessed energy. This form attracts more people than it deters, despite 2 sharp teeth in my muzzle, even though I refuse to trot out of the pool when they click their tongues and call. The desire to dominate another living thing never seems to be something they have to reach hard for, even the weaker ones. Sometimes I let them pass by unmolested. I just stand and watch, still as a statue in the churning water. Some days I stare a challenge and wait for them to take their last step into the shallows, so eager to climb atop my back, to conquer something wild and unwilling. Some days I am merciless, dragging my prey screaming down to the depths where I finish the job, the one water pouring into their mouths, their lungs, started, with those razor teeth, ripping, tearing, tasting blood. But I am always hungry. My prey all attempt to speak to me at first. It is human nature to coax and cajole with words before resorting to violence. It seems a waste of time to me. But you, a child crouching at the edge of the water, are the first to ask my name. What shall I call you? You are inexplicably afraid of me, the horse that is not a horse, lurking just out of reach. Like the land where I live, I've been called many things, but none are truer to my essence than the most vague. I am a spirit, born of this place. You may call me that, if you wish. Your bright blue eyes spark with intelligence, as young as you are. Perhaps you are so smart, so curious, because of your youth. Life has yet to dull your senses, the years wearing you down like water running steady over stone. Maybe I shall call you Demon. The elders say you drag whoever you tempt down to the underworld. I drag them to the bottom of the pool where I feed. The sand down there is littered with bones. I lash my tail back and forth. Do you want to see? Climb aboard my back and I will show you. You killed my friend Felix. Your glare grows harsh and I glimpse the man you will become. Gaze like flint. They named him Lucky, and you proved that wrong. I let out a cackle. Foolish little boys who believe themselves invincible are my favorite meal. All who wade into my pool drown. It appears you are wiser than your friend to stay on the shore. My grandfather told us he didn't suffer, that drowning is peaceful, like going to sleep. Your grandfather lied to you. Drowning is agony. I split my face into a smile, far too wide and toothy. How do you know? Because I can feel it when they die, every single one. You sink into a crouch, letting sand slip through your fingers. Why do you do it, Spirit? I need to eat, same as everything else. Could you not eat the water lilies or reeds, or the fish in your pool? Your questions amuse me, so I pose my own. Can you eat sunshine? The wind that shakes the willow branches? No, a human boy cannot get nourishment from those things. A spirit cannot get nourishment from reeds or fish. I cannot change my nature any more than you can change yours. How do you know unless you try? I've haunted this pool, beneath the waterfall, longer than humans have wandered this world. No one has ever asked me to be something besides myself. I grow weary of your company, youngling. Go home. Come back only when you've grown brave enough to come into the water. Then perhaps we'll find out. I watch you skip away before I dive, leaving only concentric rings of ripples to show I'd been there. It does not surprise me when you don't heed my warning. You return often, each time a little taller, a little broader, to talk about whatever is on your mind. I learned so much about human life from you. Concerns, fears, joys. You speak of war far to the south, whether you'll heed the call when it comes. My father says it is my duty, Spirit, to serve the Empire. We are all Roman citizens, even here. Not me. More and more I take a human form in your presence. But I am as fluid as the water in which I live, and I am not governed by the whims of man. No, I suppose not. It's a long time before I ask your name. Gaius, you offer without hesitation. To give a creature like me your name is to invite me to possess power over you. It appears your elders never taught you that important lesson. Or perhaps you don't care. Gaius, I repeat it. Try the sound out on my tongue. Am I the first person whose name you've learned? Yes. See, you say? You can change, Spirit. You think so? Touch the water and find out. You only smile and retreat for the day, but you will return, and I come to enjoy your visits, almost as much as I enjoy feeding. I listen and wait and watch you grow. The timbre of your voice drops, the stride of your gait lengthens, but you still won't approach the water, lingering on the shore. Long ago, you warned the people of your village to stay away from the waterfall, that it was as deadly as it was beautiful, that the spirit living there was the same. But you cannot prevent travelers passing through these lands from stopping for a drink, from bathing in my pool. You can't stop greedy men from following my figure with their eyes. Male, female, equine, it doesn't matter to them. They want to possess me, but in the end, it's their bones arranged at the bottom of my pool, free of the flesh that once clung there. Water washes all things clean with time. You bring the scroll on Midsummer's Day and hold it up so I can see the symbols inked there. To me, the written language of your kind is no more than scratches on the curling paper. What does it say? I've been conscripted. I must go to Lindum and join the army there by the end of the week. Your head hangs. Your whole body sags with the weight of your sentence, because that's what it is. I've learned from you that men who march off to war rarely come back. Pity! You should come into the water. Today I am the supple maiden, with long hair the color of the sun. My obsidian comb flashes in the light as I pull it through the strands, glinting blue-black. It'll be a more pleasant death than what you'll get on the battlefield. My voice becomes a hiss. A spear through the gut, a knife-sharp heat on your tender throat. Then I shift my tone to soft, musical. Drowning is peaceful. Drowning is agony, Spirit, you counter. You told me so yourself, long ago. Time is like water to me, everything flowing together, many streams of memory merging, but I recall after a moment's pause. So I did. You were young then. I could make it peaceful now. I could make it pleasurable. You're a grown man, and you want this womanly figure the way living things want water, for life. I shift on the rock so you can see the body I wear in all its glory. Supple breasts, the warm, wet cleft between the thighs. I could draw you into the pool, beneath the spray of the waterfall, and kiss you down into the depths. Breathe life into you until we're too deep to swim back to the surface, on that last mouthful of air. I would hold you down until you died, and other than my scaled arms ringed around yours, you wouldn't feel a thing. If my offer tempts you, I cannot tell. Your handsome face is carved out of stone. I'll take my chances with the army. Suit yourself. Goodbye, Spirit. Goodbye, Gaius. Good fortune. As I watch you go, I try to remember the boy I ate so long ago, the one supposed to be lucky. I can't recall his face, and I wonder how long it'll take to forget yours. Many seasons pass before you return to the waterfall. Summer, fall, winter, spring, summer again, easing into autumn. The days grow shorter, ice frays at the edges of my pool. You appear unexpected one cool afternoon. You're still here, Spirit? Gaius, I didn't forget. Not yet. You hobble when you walk now, your gait altered by some battlefield injury. Shaggy hair shadows your hollow-cheeked face, but your blue eyes still hold that spark, and you're still alive. I am tied to this place. I cannot leave. Wearing the maiden body for the first time, I slip off my perch and wade toward where you stand. I wish I'd never left. I saw so many terrible things. I'm sorry. Are you sorry, Spirit? Can you feel empathy? Regret? I don't know, but I do not wish suffering on you. You shuffle your feet and wring your hands, and I know what you are going to say before you say it. I should have let you drown me long ago. Will you do it now? Gaius, I'm so tired. I want to rest. Slowly, I open my arms. Come here. You strip until you stand bare before me. It's always the same when someone first touches the surface of the pool. The water ripples through me, singing, as you step one foot in, then the other. I could move like a darting eel now, slick, faster than lightning, arcing across the sky. But I only back away, arms still held wide, inviting, until we stand chest deep in the pool, inches apart. My golden hair floats towards you on the surface of the water, beckoning, as I reach up and place a hand on your chest. Aren't you afraid? Your heartbeat beneath my palm is strong, and your eyes are clear. There's not much in this world that frightens me anymore. Then you chuckle and bring your own arms up to ring them around me. Maybe a little. The impulse to press my lips to yours is like nothing I've ever felt. Without warning, I dip below the surface, swimming away, leaving you confused, calling the name you gave me. Spirit? When I breach again, spray cascading off my scales, you stand with your mouth agape. The hair is gone, as are the breasts and legs. I'm a beast more akin to a serpent in body, but I keep the arms, the human-like face, and the mouth with which to speak your tongue. Are you ready? The words catch in your throat, but you force them out. I am. You don't fight when I coil around, dragging you under, because it happens so fast. But drifting down, you begin to struggle, reaching and clawing towards the light. No one is ever prepared for the sensation of suffocating. Beneath the crush of the water, I permit myself to put my mouth on yours, breathe air back into your lungs, one last time. At least I tell myself it's the last. I will feast on your flesh and leave your bones to wear away under water for eternity. And then I see the naked fear in your blue eyes, and somehow I change my nature a second time. When I haul you onto the shelf of rock behind the waterfall, you cough and sputter and beat your fists on your chest until you regain your speech. I thought, it's not death you want, Gaius. You've tasted enough of that now. What do I want? Like liquid, I shift my form again. The human woman, something that can satisfy you. Life, I whisper, kiss you for real. We spend many nights that early autumn hidden from prying eyes by the cascading water of the falls. Our lovemaking reveals something I didn't know I possessed, the ability to want beyond the need to fill my belly. The weather grows colder, and you can no longer remain with me in that sacred place. As a creature of water, I cannot approach the fires you build. As a human, you cannot submerge your warm-blooded body in the freezing waters of my pool. I'll return when the weather warms. You kiss the lips I've created to please you. I never wear this form for any other purpose now. Until spring. As I lift my hand in farewell, I feel the beginnings of something raw in my heart. Pining for love is a form of hunger. As winter freezes the surface of my pool, halts the flow of water down the falls, I spend all my days below. I emerge as soon as the ice breaks, praying you'll visit me soon. You don't come. For a long time, I wonder if the army forced you to return south. I grow ravenous as the seasons rotate again, all without word from you. I take a fool who wanders into the waters with my equine form, snapping my teeth around his cloak and holding him under until his spasms cease. That satisfies me for a while. A second winter passes since I didn't drown you, and still you do not return. One morning, when it's summer again, a small child appears in my grotto. It creeps closer to the edge of the water, picking up pebbles and tossing them, playing. Hello, I call, and the tiny thing startles, blinking at me with big blue eyes. Who are you? I am the keeper of this place. I've reverted to using the female human form when necessary, as it's the best suited for small prey. The child frowns, then opens its mouth and bellows. Papa, there's a lady in the water. Time flows like a river to me, and I don't know how many moons, months, years it's been since I saw you last. But when you step into the sunlight, smiling, I can spy the streaks of silver threading through your dark hair. Hello, spirit. My heart clenches at the sound of your voice, and the rawness of your love carved into my chest curdles into something more sinister. I say nothing, waiting for you to explain your absence. I met a woman in the village, never expected her to return my affection, maimed as I was, but you married, you had a child, yes, and another on the way. Jealousy is a kind of hunger too, coveting things that aren't yours. I wanted to tell you, your eyes are tired, your smile weary, but I didn't know if you'd let me leave. I couldn't risk it. I manipulate the water to lift this body up, let the swell carry me closer to shore. You hold your offspring the way you once held me, and the rage inside grows. Yes, protect the babe, you coward. If you ever let it wander here again, I will drag it down screaming, and you'll know nothing but sorrow for the rest of your days. Just because it comes from your blood doesn't mean I will spare it. The horror on your face pleases me. Perhaps I should have named you Demon after all, you spit. Perhaps. Be gone from this place. Go home to your wife. I echo the warning I gave years before. Come back only when you've grown brave enough to come into the water. I turn away, tears leaking from my almost human eyes, and do not watch you leave. Years pass. I remain ever-changing and changeless as things live and die and live again around me. And still the water flows, down the waterfall, into my home, through myself. I expect to mock you when you reappear as an old man, but I cannot bring myself to say cruel things. You use a walking stick for assistance as you stumble along the shore. Spirit, here I am. I flaunt my youthful body, the one you'd loved and left in the waning sun. It's near dark, the birds singing their final song of the evening to the wind. It's time, Spirit. My wife is gone, my children grown. I am ready. The stick drops to the ground beside you. Drowning is agony, I warn. Wouldn't you rather die in your bed of some human ailment? I thought I owed you this much. I couldn't stay with you, Spirit, but I can give something back. So be it. There is no fight in you this time, as I bring you below the surface, gentle as I can. I watch the light dim in your bright eyes. Your body sinks to join the others. I may take my fill later, or I may leave you to rot. You were the first, but you won't be the last. The memory of your betrayal will slip away, and I'll be fooled again by my own eternal heart. Given enough time, water washes all things clean.
That was Time Like Water by Ashley Evans. It's been a while since I read this story, and now that I revisited it hit me differently. I thought that it was wonderful, particularly the character development when it comes to the main character. The spirit of the water is complex and multidimensional. Ashley really managed to showcase the burden of immortality, how it comes with tedium, waiting, and loss. I also thought that the relationship between the spirit and Gaius was very well accomplished. From their first encounter, when Gaius is a kid, there is an immediate rapport established between them. It was both enlightening and heartbreaking to see Gaius's life story through the spirit's eyes. It was really sad to see how he goes from being this cheerful and innocent boy to becoming a hollow man after coming back from the war. It also made perfect sense that the loneliness that both characters feel, as well as the way in which they can be completely honest with each other, would eventually evolve into a love affair. One thing that also gave a lot of strength to the story was that despite the spirit's voracious and cruel nature, it really comes to love Gaius, and you can tell. We could really feel its heartbreak when he stops visiting, and again when he comes back with his son. The ending was also very powerful and conveyed once again how both spirit and man care deeply about each other. I thought it was very touching how Gaius grants the spirit the gift of drowning him, and how the spirit itself goes through lengths to make his death painless. All in all, it was a moving and well-rounded story.
Yeah, I love this piece as well, and some of the ideas that the author explores in the story. First of all, it's beautifully written. I like how she introduces the character of the spirit right as the story opens. It's a really cool idea, and I was very intrigued by this character right away. I really like how the story explores desire, specifically in the form of hunger. It is the idea that everybody wants. And even when we get our fill after a good meal, it is only a short matter of time before we are hungry again. And this can apply to all types of hunger. She even ends the opening section with the spirit saying, "But I am always hungry." And that is true for all people. We are always wanting more.
Yeah, and I like how at one point she writes, pining for love is a form of hunger, and then later, jealousy is a kind of hunger too, coveting things that aren't yours.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. I love those lines. And that was a major theme in this story. And I thought that was very well crafted. And the other major theme of the story is about time, as in the title, Time Like Water. And it is interesting to think about how these two things relate, how nothing stays the same, things change with time, hunger can be satiated momentarily, but then it will return and in different forms over time. And I love the idea we get in the closing line, which is, given enough time, water washes all things clean. I thought that was really smart. It makes me think about a variety of things, from legacy to how everything, including ourselves, will be forgotten in a matter of time. It'll all be washed clean. And that makes you consider what is truly important. And I think it is the obvious answers: love, family, connection. It's definitely thought-provoking.
Definitely. And I also like Ashley's decision to write the story in first person, direct address. This is a point of view that can be difficult to execute, but I think she did a wonderful job, and it makes the story feel even more intimate and personal when she's directly addressing Gaius as you within the narration.
Yes, it's a really beautiful story. And I also love the ending and how the spirit says, "You were the first, but you won't be the last. The memory of your betrayal will slip away, and I'll be fooled again by my own eternal heart." That is an awesome line, and it shows that even though her heart was broken when Gaius left her and started his family, she's not going to give up on love and let it turn her bitter and against it, which I think is an excellent message. It is a fantastic piece.
I agree. And for the prompts, Ashley chose a waterfall for the setting, a veteran for the character, and the one thing that everyone had to include in this challenge was a scroll. And we see that when Gaius brings her the scroll, saying that he had been conscripted to war. If you enjoyed this piece, Ashley has a couple more winning stories which you can read on our website. And also make sure to check out her website, which is aevanswrites.carrd.co. And I think that is about it.
Yep, next week is Thanksgiving, so happy Thanksgiving to all those celebrating. I'm definitely looking forward to that and eating some delicious food. I've got so much to be thankful for, most importantly, my beautiful wife and partner at Writers Playground, Mariana.
Oh, shucks. Right back at you.
And we are also thankful for you all for listening to this, for participating in our challenges. And we're looking forward to another fun round come January. And we'll be back for another episode of our podcast, Storytime, in 2 weeks. So have a great one, everybody.
See ya.